What's up, guys? MC Stu here, and today we're going to talk about how to level up your R&D schools as quickly and as efficiently as you can. All right, so leveling up your R&D is a helpful thing. There's different things that you can craft: batteries, gear. There's the new consoles that were just released, and leveling up your schools will unlock some of those things, as well as personal space traits, those kinds of things. So it's definitely worth doing at least to level 15. And probably wouldn't hurt to continue to go higher. I'm a terrible example, which you'll see here in a moment. I have it kind of spread out across different tunes. I focused on some on one and some on another. But leveling these all up are definitely a good thing to do, and there's some benefits to going about doing that. Now, this can be somewhat time consuming, especially when you get higher up in the R&D school levels. And that's what we're going to look at is how to maximize the amount of points that you can get on a daily basis. So let's start with just talking about how we go about doing this. So we're going to click on the Duty Officer tab, and we're going to click on R&D. So as of lately, I've been really kind of working on my beam stuff. Not super hard, but I should really follow my own advice on this. On my free-to-play, I am doing this method and progressing pretty quickly here. So let's just take a look. So if we click on beam and we scroll, I was already in, but if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see research program beam technology. So this is what's going to give you the most XP for this crafting school. Now, building other things individually are going to give you points, but some of these are tiny, and the amount of points you need, you can see up top here, are huge. So when you're at the lower levels trying to get to level 15, each of these are going to have a much larger effect to get to the next tier, because you can see we're down. I just need 48,000 to get to tier 5, as opposed to in the beams where I need millions. So the best way to do this is to run these research projects. Now you'll see you need just basically one material, and you need a duty officer. So if we look at where you can run these, I have all of my slots unlocked, and these unlock by doing different things. So they'll be progressing a school to a certain level, progressing multiple schools to a particular level, progressing even more multiple schools to a particular level, and then some of them can be unlocked through your fleet vendors. Just a quick note, since I mentioned it, here is how you can get the extra slots for your R&D. So when you come to the fleet lab, research lab, and you beam in, you'll be standing right here. You're going to run in, and you're going to go straight across the room here. And on the back wall, there's going to be a panel lit up, and you'll see down here it says traits and R&D project slots. I have purchased all of them, so they won't show, but otherwise they would show up here, and they're going to cost you fleet credits and dilithium. So that's how you'll unlock all of these. You can unlock 3-4 of them pretty quickly. The rest of them you're going to have to unlock through the fleet. So you need to just start with a school. When you look at this, if you're just starting off on your R&D system, it'll actually say here what you need to do to unlock these other slots. So I would look at those, and I would focus first on making sure you can unlock as many of these as you can, or all of them would be the best way to go about doing it. Once you've unlocked more of these, you can run more projects a day and gain more XP a day. So every day you're going to want to come in here, and you're going to want to fill up as many of those slots, and you're going to want to leave one available, which we'll get into in a moment. So what you'll do is you'll come into the particular school that you're working on, or if you're working on 2 at a time, you can do that as well. Why don't we just look at cannons here? We'll do the example here. So if I come down to the bottom on cannons, let's say every day I'm going to log in, and I'm gonna do this. This has a 20-hour cooldown, so basically once a day. I need a particular duty officer, which is research lab scientist, and I need one of these particular mats. So I'm going to hit begin, and I'm going to say, okay, I want to go ahead and do that, and it's going to give me 6,000 XP for doing that. So you can skip ahead and finish it, but this is an enormous amount of dilithium. I would not do this. There's just no way to generate enough of this to make any kind of difference skipping ahead. So if we click back into the school, I can go ahead and I can run this again because I have another scientist. So if we look here and I select, I only have 2. So I can only run 2 of these projects. If I had more of these scientists, which I could go to the exchange and pick up a couple more, I could run even more of these. So if you're really wanting to focus on building these up. You want to get some decent quality duty officers that match what this is calling for. And it'll tell you what it calls for when you click into it. It'll say it right here, research lab scientist. That is what you need. And you'll want to purchase a few of those. What I would do if you're going to really kind of go ham on it is get yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And again, this other slot we're going to be using for something else. So you're going to want to come in and slot this project as many times as you can. And that's going to be limited by the amount of duty officers that you have. So you can see I cannot slot another one because I don't have another research lab scientist to use. So make sure that you pick those up. Even if you don't have a lot of EC, get, green ones. And then as you get more EC, pick up some newer ones or do some of the recruitment missions. There's other ways to farm these duty officers that you need. So number one is to go ahead and run this as much as possible. Now, the thing that a lot of people are unaware of is that there's actually an assignment you can pick up daily at your fleet that's going to give you a big boost as well. So let's go ahead and jump over to the fleet holding where we're going to want to pick up this assignment. So this is going to happen on the Fleet Research Lab and Fleet Research Lab system. So that's where we're going to head, and I'll show you where this assignment is at. All right, so we have made it to the system. I clipped that out because that took like a minute and a half to load in. There's nobody generally here unless your fleet's really active and people happen to already be on the map, so the server has to spool one up. So sometimes you'll find some of these maps take a little bit longer to load. So once you get here, all you need to do is click on Contact Traffic Control, and we're going to want to beam to the interior. All right, and before we go any farther, I'm just going to point this out, and this is kind of a noob thing that I did, and just in case you guys run into this, but the first time I ever came here, I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out how to get out of here. You can't beam up to your ship and whatever, and I know it's stupid, but I'm sure other people have had this problem or will. So in order to get off the station, you need to speak with the traffic control person again, and then you can say beam back to your ship or return to sector space. And sector space, it'll actually bring you back to where you were before. So if you were, around Earth space dock or something like that, it'll actually bring you back there. So return to sector space is actually return to your previous position before you came to the fleet map. But that's how you get off the map. So once you beam in, you are going to want to hang a left here, and we're going to run and hang a right, and then make another right into this first door. And we're going to run over to the guy standing here, middle console. So this is the daily research and development missions. And what you're going to want to do, it looks like I had one here from who knows when, so I'll just claim that. So what you're going to want to do is talk to him, and you're going to want to find the school that you're working on. So we were working on cannons, and that's what we're going to run here. So this is also nice because it gives you a nice chunk of dilithium, and you're going to get this right away, which is really cool. And we'll go through this right now. So I'm going to go ahead and so I'll get all of these mats. I'll get a little bit of EC, and I'll get 1,200 dilithium, which is a nice little chunk of your daily refinable amount. So we're going to accept that, and we're going to say okay. So once we have accepted that, you're going to go back to your duty officer tab here, and we're going to go into cannons, and we are going to have a assignment that we have here. And you need these mats that are listed in order to complete the assignment, and it looks like tactical or security officer. So it looks like you can run it with just about anything you want to. So we're going to click on begin mission. This is going to give us another 5,000 XP. So this gives us a nice boost, especially if you don't have enough of the duty officers. And I don't know if there's a cap on that, guys. Let me know when we were talking about how many of the regular assignments you can run. Because if you have 6 of these duty officers, can you fill this tab up with 6? To be honest, I'm not sure. Because I know, like on my free to play, I always, I maxed it out, and then once you max it out, this won't show up anymore. But I always still had a slot down here for this assignment that we're looking at now. So if anyone knows on that, some clarification would be nice if you let me know down in the comments there. So I like running this one, even though it's 1,000 less, you're getting, like I said, a nice chunk of that dilithium. So all you're going to do is click on begin, and we're going to start. And this one only has a 10-second cooldown. I'm not going to wait since we're recording. It's 75 dil, and now it's completed. So I'm going to say collect reward, And then what you have to do is you have to talk to the vendor again, which is what I just did when I came in because I never collected it from the last time. Now, when I hit continue, I'm going to get these other mats here, and we've gotten that extra XP. Now, you can only run this every 20 hours, just like the other one. So if I go back and I talk to him again, it's going to show it's on cooldown. So this one you can complete and you can get your XP and your mats and all the bonuses right away. And then the cooldown is on the back end of that, which is different from your projects you run here. You don't get this stuff until you actually complete it. Regardless, though, you can still only slot and run these once every 20 hours. So this is going to be the best way to stack up doing your projects, and an additional way that you can add in projects that are kind of outside the actual R&D system. I mean, I guess it's inside, but you launch it from your fleet. So take advantage of your fleet, get that extra XP out of that. Lastly, let's talk about the best times to do this. They run events that are R&D events. And let's just take a look at one of the last ones that they did. I don't know if this was the actual last one, but this was earlier this year. In January. I know there's been a couple since then. So when they run these events, you're going to get extra R&D materials, mats from basically every source in the game. So rewards from TFOs if you go and mine nodes. Any source that gives you R&D materials are going to drop additional R&D materials, catalysts for crafting, and also the lithium on some of these nodes you can get out of it. But most importantly, if you look down here at the bottom, during these events, you're going to get a 50% increase to the R&D school XP that you're working on. So any of those projects that we looked at running here previously, when we complete those, we would get an extra 50% of XP on top of that. So when an R&D event comes up, research and development event, you're going to want to hit this really hard and make sure that you're going into the characters that you're trying to level up these schools and take full advantage of that, because you're going to get a 50% increase in that XP for all of those assignments that you run, all of those projects that you run. All right, guys. Well, I think that pretty much covers the basics here. If you know of other ways that you can boost these, I don't think there's any kind of XP boost that you can actually run in order to progress this faster. I think the only boost that happens is that event that I just mentioned, running the projects and running the fleet missions here. But if you know of any other avenues that can add to this and make it go faster, let us know down in the comments. I'd be really interested to see what I'm missing there. This game that's got so much stuff in it. I didn't even know about this fleet stuff until, I don't know, like a year and a half ago, and I've been playing for 5 years. There's just so much. Also, I'm interested to know what kind of a difference the quality of your duty officers makes on these assignments. I know when you're crafting, you have better chances of getting higher quality gear. If you're crafting batteries, you have a higher chance of getting additional crafted materials. So if you're making making a batch of batteries, which are normally 5, you potentially could be rewarded with 10 when you have those higher duty officers. I don't know what kind of difference they make though on the actual XP that you get. So I'd be interested to know if anyone has seen a difference by using different quality levels on that. I have not noticed any kind of difference there. So, but those are the ways that I use to boost this, and I think that covers pretty much that everything's there. Again, make sure you're doing these daily. You can do them every 20 hours. Utilize the fleet missions here and take full advantage when there's an R&D weekend to get that extra 50% boost. All right, guys. Till next time, I appreciate you. Don't forget to check out the Discord server. We got 3,000 members in there. If you have questions, need help, or just a great community that you want to talk to and play with and hang out, everybody is welcome. So definitely check that out down in the description there. Till next time, have a good one. Appreciate you watching. Hey guys, appreciate you watching. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, ring the bell, and sub to the channel for the latest news updates and how-to guides.